Why hasn't India rise like China? It's because of the caste system for the past hundreds of years. Today, it still controls who gets opportunity, who has the power, and who has the dignity. First of all, the caste weakens state capacity. Modern countries need effective governments, strong infrastructure, and empowered citizens. But India did not even have a national tax code until 2017. Infrastructure is duplicated, reforms are blocked, and local politics is run by the local coalitions. Because Indian rulers built power not around institutions, but around the caste. For the centuries, the Brahmin class, they controlled the knowledge, while the lower castes, like Dalits, were completely excluded. They were called the untouchables. No national bureaucracy ever emerged, only the localized alliances. So when the British arrived, India collapsed fast. The colonial rule only deepened this caste dominance by elevating elites like Nehru without dismantling the system. Now, compare that with China. China also once had a class-based bureaucracy, ranking officials by birth. However, by the 10th century, a peasant rebellion led by a salt merchant forced the transformation to a merit-based system. China then became centralized, technocratic, and resilient. We have observed the Mongol and Manchu invasions. We have also resisted the colonization. And today, it managed 1.4 billion people through effective governance. India never had that rupture. No revolution, only the compromise, and the caste system survived. So how about the human capital? India does have some brilliant people, but they have been held back. The female literacy is 70% versus almost 100% in China. Tens of millions of Indians are stuck in informal jobs, no lands, no contracts, and no safety nets. Because India never had any land reforms. No land means no capital means no education, and no education means no social mobility. India today is the so-called world's largest democracy, but its elections are often driven by the caste-based voting banks, not by the policy outcomes. In 2019, 30% of the politicians in India faced criminal charges, but they still win the election thanks to a caste-based loyalty. And that creates a vicious loop. Caste creates fatalism. Fatalism tolerates corruption, and corruption blocks reforms. While Indian media always talks about China's one-party system, Chinese officials have their own counter-arguments. At least, we prioritize competence over the caste identity. So the way forward, the caste is not just a social issue. It's the single biggest obstacle to the India's rise. The real solution is an inclusive and labor-intensive industrialization. The factories lifting millions out of poverty. India must follow the suit, but fast. Not just iPhone plants in the urban zones, but domestic firms in rural states, hiring across the caste, competing globally, and paying wage that will let people rise. Because when people work together and earn together, the caste will matter less. The final message here is that India has a talent. It has a huge number of people. It has ambition. But if the caste still defines who leads and who serves, India will never rise. To unlock its future, India must break the caste barrier through industry, through inclusion, and the dignity for all of its people. End the curse of caste once and for all, now.